DJ Lagway might be done at Florida. Yes, that's right. DJ Lagway might be done at Florida. Florida quarterback DJ Lagway was reportedly in a walking boot this week. And he looks like he won't be playing this or going forward because of his injury. Lagway has had a horrible season so far. Against Florida last weekend, against Miami last weekend, he was 12 of 23 for 61 yards and had -8 rushing yards, and his mobility is key. That followed a game in which he threw 5 interceptions against LSU. He was mediocre against South Florida and actually was pretty below average in total QBR against Long Island University, even though he was highly efficient, believe it or not. DJ Lagway may be done. And Florida is going to have a decision to make. Do they go with DJ Lagway or do they go with one of their backups? And if they go with one of their backups, do they go with Tramell Jones, who played against Long Island University? Or, and this is the big one, do they go with Harrison Bailey? And if that name is familiar to you, it should be. Harrison Bailey was the 5-star commitment at quarterback to Tennessee back in 2020. After the season went off the rails, Tennessee started him the final 2 games of the year. He was the Jim Chaney prospect, the guy Jim Chaney wanted above all else. He was going to be the future of Tennessee under Jeremy Pruitt. Jeremy Pruitt's fired that year. Harrison Bailey sticks it out through 2021 with Josh Heupel. Doesn't win the starting job. Transfers at the end of the year. And I believe goes to UNLV and then Louisville and then transferred to Florida this offseason. Looks like he was collecting a check to be a backup quarterback in Florida. But he may not be collecting a check now because DJ Lagway is now hurt. What does it mean for Tennessee if they have to play Harrison Bailey later in the year? That is a real question. And I'm going to say this much on whether or not Tennessee plays Harrison Bailey. I don't know. But I will say this, and this is Bank on It. And it's brought to you by Commercial Bank, member FDIC, Life Made Better. Tennessee is not going to play DJ Lagway. DJ Lagway will not be playing Tennessee at the end of the season when the Vols in Florida face off. They will either face Tramell Jones or Harrison Bailey. A double bank on it. If they face Harrison Bailey, they will eat his lunch. And I'm not talking about because he played at Tennessee or transferring or anything like that or because he's going to be motivated. I'm talking about the way Harrison Bailey plays would favor Tennessee. Now, Adam wants me to remind how Bailey left Tennessee. We'll talk about that. But first, Bank on It. Brought to you by Commercial Bank member FDIC. Tennessee will not play DJ Lagway when they face Florida. And they will want to play Harrison Bailey over Tramell Jones when that day comes.
Commercial Bank is your neighborhood bank. What makes us different from other banks? We understand that every customer has unique opportunities, challenges, and financial concerns. We don't expect you to fit into the same box as the next person or business. Whether it's purchasing a home, saving for your child's future, or planning for your next vacation, we're with you every step of the way to navigate life's big decisions. Commercial Bank. Life made better.
That's Bank on It. Tennessee's going to want to play Harrison Bailey. And I'm actually going to set that up as a poll question. First, the poll question, which coach provided more entertainment value to the SEC football with his antics? 83% of you guys say Steve Spurrier. 70% say Lane Kiffin. The question is, who do you want to see Tennessee face at QB when the Vols visit Florida in November? And we're going to say DJ Lagway. We're going to say Tramell Jones Jr., actually, because he is a junior. Or Harrison Bailey. You guys go ahead and vote on that. While you guys are voting, I'm going to give you a comment Steve Spurrier made about the Billy Napier offense as we talk about it. Because, guys, golden, and I'll give you guys this. Where Steve Spurrier beats Lane Kiffin. Lane Kiffin is entertainment value just as a coach because of all the craziness he does. Steve Spurrier is entertainment value because of what he just says from a football perspective. And here's something he said from a football perspective. Spurrier talking about Billy Napier's offense. This is hilarious. Watch this. This was him just a couple days ago.
I agree. Our defense has played well.
Yep.
It's played very well. I guess the next thing we need to try to learn how to score on defense since the offense isn't scoring much.
How can you not like Steve Spurrier, man? Oh my gosh, Steve Spurrier at his best. I guess they're going to have to figure out how to score on offense or score on defense since the offense can't score much. Now, the Harrison Bailey story is interesting with Tennessee. Harrison Bailey, I think, was he was a mid-season transfer in 2021. And a lot of people thought he shouldn't have been a mid-season transfer. But what people forget, I've always been defensive of Harrison Bailey for this. Harrison Bailey transferred because Josh Heupel, let's call this out, guys. Let's be fair here. Josh Heupel never gave any of the quarterbacks on that roster that were Jeremy Pruitt holdovers a chance to win the starting job. He always was going to go with Joe Milton. Always. Because Joe Milton was the guy he signed. He inherited a roster that had Hendon Hooker, Kadon Salter, Harrison Bailey, and Brian Maurer. And then he went and he worked with all of them in the spring. And then he went and got Joe Milton after the spring, named Joe Milton the starter. I believe not giving anybody else a fair shake. And I hear some inside stories that he didn't give other players a fair shake too, because many thought Hendon Hooker was better beforehand. So if that was the case, of course, Harrison Bailey was going to feel a certain way. Brian Maurer hit the portal before. First of all, he kicked off Kadon Salter for 2 marijuana arrests. That means he never won a Kadon Salter because marijuana arrest, you're not kicking somebody off the team for that. He did that twofold. He could clear the field a little bit more for his guy, Joe Milton, and he could establish that I'm the discipline coach. I kicked off a player for marijuana, and I'm so intelligent. Yes. That's what he did with that. And that was his first move. His next move was kind of to nudge Brian Maurer into the portal in August, saying he was never going to get a fair shot. Then he could claim that Joe Milton won the starting job over Hendon Hooker and Harrison Bailey. Harrison Bailey felt he never got a fair shake. Now, Harrison Bailey was never a good fit for Heupel's offense and wasn't going to work out. But I don't blame him, given the way things worked out, for him transferring in October of 2021 that year. I'd have probably done the same thing, guys. I'll just be honest with you. I'd have probably done the same thing. So with that in mind, Harrison Bailey transferring, I don't really blame him for. The poll question is up. Who would you want to see for Tennessee face a quarterback when the Vols visit Florida in November? DJ Lagway, Tramell Jones, Harrison Bailey. 67% say DJ Lagway, 33% say Harrison Bailey. Here's why you want to face Harrison Bailey, and this is the point I was getting to. Florida has had quarterbacks historically have the game of their life against Tennessee. Now, I'm not counting the Spurrier years, even the Ron Zook years when the Rex Grossmans and the Danny Warfels were there. And the reason I'm not counting those years is because, truth be told, Florida was just better. But during the years when the streak happened, they would have random quarterbacks step up and ball out. Trayon Harris scores 10 points in the fourth quarter. Will Grier, Jeff Driscoll, Felipe Franks. What do they all have in common? They're dual threat quarterbacks. Harrison Bailey is a pure drop back passer. And as Tennessee fans remember watching him in 2020, he has the worst pocket presence of any drop back passer you could ever have. They also bring pressure. The Vols bring a lot of pressure. When you take those two things into account, I firmly believe that Tennessee would give Harrison Bailey hell if he started against them later in the year. And because of that, I genuinely think Tennessee wants to face Harrison Bailey. On top of that, Josh Heupel is going to know his tendencies because Josh Heupel coached against him. So with that in mind, yes, Harrison Bailey could give Florida something about Josh Heupel's playbook. It's a different playbook than the one he had in 2021. So with all of that, I think Tennessee wants to face Harrison Bailey when the two face off in November. Because the scariest thing for Tennessee is if Tramell Jones becomes the starter, who is a dual threat quarterback, and Tennessee's not fully prepared for him. and you don't want to see that happen. So right now, I think that Tennessee wants. I think Tennessee wants to face Harrison Bailey above anybody else.